Brett Stevens in The Times talked about Cochrane. Put that on the screen. The most rigorous and comprehensive analysis of scientific studies conducted on the efficacy of masks for reducing the spread of respiratory illness, including COVID-19, was published last month. Its conclusions, said Tom Jefferson, the Oxford epidemiologist who is the lead author, were unambiguous. There is just no evidence that masks, make any difference, he told the journalist Mayan Demasi, full stop. But wait, hold on. What about the N95 masks as opposed to the lower quality surgical or cloth masks? Makes no difference. None of it, he said. Well, what about the studies that initially persuaded policymakers to impose mask mandates? They were convinced by non-randomized studies, flawed observational studies. How do we get beyond that finding of that particular review?
Yeah, but there are other studies, Michael, that show at an individual level for individual. When you're talking about the effect on the epidemic or the pandemic as a whole, the data are less strong.
Stuffing your face with chocolate cake repeatedly might not demonstrate weight loss on an individual level, but the data on a population level, on a broader level, is less strong because we've got studies,
As you learn more and more, you've got to continue to evolve with the data.
Regular exercise might create better health on an individual level, but the data on a population level is far less strong. Not leaving valuable personal belongings in your car might work to prevent the loss of personal property on an individual level. But when you do this at a population level, our studies demonstrate that the data is far less strong, especially when you're living in a city like San Francisco. Well, gosh, that's awfully specific. Population level? No, well, really, I should have said population level is any city run by Democrats with Soros DAs. So now they want you to start masking up again. The trepidation, the fear that they're creating. They want your children to start masking again.
No. No. Come here, baby.
And yet they insist that you believe them. Those who got everything wrong during the pandemic, those who locked you down, those who kept your children home from school, the same people like Anthony Fauci, who long ago, pre-pandemic, said that masks have no efficacy in preventing transmission of aerial-borne disease, then repeated the mantra at the start of the pandemic.
Wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
Then flip-flops.
So if you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely would be more effective. And that's the reason why you see people either double masking or...
Think of all the mask mandates, the pain, the microplastics that were inhaled, the costs, the arguments among citizens, the fear that was created, and how children were prevented from learning facial cues and pronunciation via the lip movement. All because they mandated masks, which, as we now know, are about as effective at protecting your health as repeatedly stuffing chocolate cake into your mouth is at promoting weight loss. But still, Fauci and co., the Democrats, Joe Biden, the leftists, will demand that you continue to stuff the chocolate cake into your mouth, no matter the ill effects for you and for society. Far better that you suffer, that society goes downhill, than they admit that they were wrong, or, let's face it, lied to you, as they continue to do.